Need for Speed Carbon is one of my favorite games that I was never able to complete as a kid, right up there with Tomb Raider Anniversary and Shadow of the Colossus. I've since finished both of these games, and figured now was the time to strike this one off the list as well. As I remembered, the game didn't have any difficulty levels, any official ones anyway. However, I did remember the game had 3 classes: Tuner, Exotic, and Muscle. Tuner cars are your average 17-year-old modifying his mom's Toyota, and Exotics can dominate the road, coming from far-off places such as Japan and... well, that's basically all the Exotics. But the Muscle car group stands out, primarily due to the fact that they handle like boats. It is nearly impossible to take a tight turn in a muscle car, and sometimes it's impossible to take a straight. The one saving grace of this car class is that you launch really well off the line, allowing you to get first place right off the starting line. And they also have the highest top speed in the game, allowing them to dominate long straights. Sometimes. But don't let me fool you into thinking that the muscle class is good. The negatives far outweigh the positives. These cars are super slidey, and prone to basically hydroplaning on dry roads. They are not drift cars. Drift cars you can control. With muscle cars, once your back tires get out from under you, your fate lies with the gods at that point. So, with cars this bad, it begs the question: can you beat Need for Speed Carbon with only muscle cars? After completely totaling your new BMW with a couple of paint scratches, you're confronted by Crank, a bounty hunter looking to take you in for atrocities you committed in Liechtenstein back in 1906. Luckily for you, your old friend Memphis, Tennessee shows up and tells Kronk to beat it. He then tells his sister Armenia to deal with you, but she doesn't want to do it. So she instead dumps you onto her nephew, a vault dweller from Vault 4, who loans you his spare Camaro SS. One quick failure of the tutorial later, and we are on our way to taking over Detroit. Taking over Steelport. Is that the fucking name of the city? I might have to do that again. A couple of rules I set for myself from this challenge was that I had to drive everywhere myself, rather than just jumping from race to race. Need for Speed Carbon has a fast travel system, but I felt that it would trivialize part of the game considering the fact that police pursuits are just a part of the Need for Speed identity. But as it turned out, it didn't matter at all, since it didn't throw me into any additional pursuits. A few races later, Armenia rewarded me for my hard work by introducing me to her nephew's boyfriend, Sam Van Winkle, who's a much more useful crew member than her nephew, so quick swap, I continued racing. You might have noticed I have this meter under my nitrous that I haven't used. That's because it sucks. It's basically Franklin's ability from GTA 5, except it doesn't really give you any control whatsoever, and it also slows your car down a lot when you use it. The only trouble I had reaching the boss of this segment of the game was one police pursuit where the cops would just not stop spawning up my ass. After a quick pre-boss tune-up, I went to face off against this area's crew boss, the shadow figure in the basement. Yeah, EA was on something different in 2006. Boss races in this game come down to 2 parts, a standard 1v1 circuit race, and then a second race on the canyon, where your goal is to draft your opponent as closely as possible, then run as hard as you can away from your opponent. Though my driving was pretty shoddy in both segments, she isn't a very good driver, so we're able to beat her at her own game and move on to the next districts in the city. After visiting the car lot and picking up a Vauxhall Murano for no reason other than it was the only car brand I didn't recognize, I immediately moved north, choosing to go into TFK territory to mess with Wolf rather than Kenji first, because I remembered Kenji's gang being quite difficult. I also found it amusing how Wolf looks like a blind guy driving a fancy car with soot on his face. Probably explains why he was so easy to beat, actually. Sure you did, buddy. With him down and some nice new upgrades under my hood, I went on to make short work of Kenji and the Jets. Sorry, I don't know what just came over me. After an ugly city circuit, I blew Kenji out of the water in the canyon. I met the next crew member the game throws at you, Yingus, and then went to meet Method, who betrays you and finally sicks Crumbo on you. Luckily, Lydia comes and frees you from their grasp after realizing that Mephisto was the true bad guy all along. After being given a second chance to cut my losses and bounce, I instead double down and get down to beating Melodrama and taking over his city. I felt pretty good, buying a new Shelby GT500 from the nearest car lot and taking it back to the safe house. Since this would be the car I used for the rest of the game, I decided to gussy this one up a bit, eventually creating what I called the Bowser Mobile. Fuck you, Nintendo. I'm obviously talking about Papa Bowser Gabagool, an Italian-American mobster from the 1920s. I felt a little guilty getting all the performance upgrades right away, but then I remembered how the car handled on the way back from the car lot and tuned it in peace. After that, I settled on completing the game tomorrow and closed my stream for the day. The next day, I drove my new car to the first race against the Stacked Deck, an aptly named gang to face off against. This is a Lamborghini Murcielago. With a carbon fiber and steel alloy body, the Murcielago tips the scales at just over 3,600 pounds. The Murcielago has the most powerful Lamborghini road engine to date. With 571 horsepower put to the pavement to a permanent four-wheel drive system, the Lamborghini Murcielago is capable of 205 miles an hour. Under the hood is a longitudinally mid-mounted, twin double overhead cam 48-valve, 60-degree V12 turning out 571 horsepower at 7,500 RPMs. You have no idea how many takes that last sentence took. So you can see perhaps why I shit meself upon seeing one of these on the lineup for my next race. You may think Memphis is the villain of the story, but as you'll see, it's actually the driver of the Lamborghini Murcielago. It's like they included like the boss characters to be like intimidating. It's not even the boss characters that are that good. It's this one dude in a Lamborghini. But what the fuck was past me talking about when I said that they included the boss characters? Oh, yeah. Memphis has recruited the previous 3 bosses into his crew. Yes, dear viewer, you could say that the shit has officially hit the fan. I struggled with almost every race in this tier, the Bowsermobile roaring in almost futile attempts to keep up with whoever the hell decided to buy themselves a Murcielago. This neighborhood also featured way more police pursuits, as almost every area here starts you off at level 4 heat. I almost got busted here once, but other than being a time sink, it wasn't much trouble. After taking over all the areas, I received a text from the other bosses. Faced them all in the city, and then in the canyons. 3 rematches, but this time, they weren't fucking around. I had already taken out Kenji in the city earlier, so I figured doing his canyon race would be the easiest, and it was. Kenji's car was simply unable to keep up both times. Yeah, that's what you get, you fucking poser. Wolf and were not so easy, however. I had actually tried her canyon race earlier. I didn't tell you about that yet because it's my video and I can edit the narrative to fit whatever I want it to be. With that fear in mind, I went to go rematch Wolf instead. His city circuit was pretty uneventful, but his choice in cars was foreboding. He too had picked up a Murcielago. For his canyon race, I could stay with him and even get into the blue zone, the highest scoring zone in canyon races, for just the first turn or so. But past that, I was almost always at risk of full-on losing him for the rest of the race. The psychological damage that inflicted of being like in bad chase status, like almost getting past towards the end, or like almost losing him at the end. Like, this is bad. We are up Shit's Creek. No paddle. Fuck. Bye-bye. I hit the e-brake like it was the fucking NOS. I don't know why I continued accelerating. After retuning my car several times and still facing defeat after defeat, I had to pull out my super weapon. The 2006 Chevrolet Corvette Z06 is the highest cost muscle car in the game. If there was any car that could pull me out of this hell, it was this one. I was done messing around, and I customized the car to reflect that. No more bright colors or fancy decals, no shiny paint, just solid matte black, and all the upgrades to make this thing a true beast. And what a difference a car can make. I actually passed Wolf for a few seconds in this race, beating him fairly comfortably. And by the time I raced, I was actually comfortable enough to crack jokes about the music I had put on for the stream. Dude, the way that this is composed, it makes it sound like it's a Pizza Tower song. Pizza Tower thong? Type 1 if you dude, type 1 if you would wear a Pizza Tower thong. Moving on to the final boss race, I had one last ride against all the henchmen at once. Wolf once again proving to be the biggest problem out of all of them. Holy shit, the other two are nowhere close. This is just a race between me and Wolf. Before finally meeting Mephiles, once and for all, in a shiny new Bugatti Veyron, a car that the player doesn't even have access to over the course of the story. And once again, what a difference a car makes. This car absolutely destroys every muscle car, including the Corvette. Mauga's City Circus took the most attempts out of any race in the entire game. That's not to say I was driving particularly well either. So much speed in here. What the fuck? What the fuck just happened? After a couple of agonizing hours, I managed it, and then moved on to his canyon race. This was it. The grand finale. And I already beat him. Yep, despite all the shit he put me through in the first race, it only took 10 seconds to beat his canyon race. Hey, when I said muscle cars accelerated like a bat out of hell, I meant it. And so, the game came to a close, in what is honestly one of the most disappointing win screens I've ever seen. Really? That's it? Just a screen that says you win on it? NES games put more effort into their conclusions than that. Man, EA has been fucked up for a really long time, huh? Hey, if you're still here, thanks for watching the video all the way through. This was kind of hell, but it taught me a lot of stuff about making a serious YouTube video like this. I'm planning on taking these lessons and putting out more videos like this one about once or twice a month. So subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. God damn it. Is this thing on? Oh, perfect. Hey, post-editing Keith here. I've actually already got my next video started. It's going to be about Hitman, but it's not going to be like you think. So if you like interesting gaming challenges, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss it.